This is not just a game. It is a war without weapons, a battle where brilliance bleeds through silence, a story, inked not with words, but with sacrifices, calculated, cold, and divine. In one corner, Lionel Kisaritsky, a master of logic, precision, and classical control, the man who played for perfection, a tactician of timing and tempo. In the other, Adolf Anderssen, a dreamer, a destroyer, a player who danced with chaos, who believed beauty was worth more than material. On this day in 1851, these two men did not simply play a match. They wrote a myth. A queen would fall, a rook would be abandoned, pawns would march like soldiers toward their doom, and in the wreckage, something eternal would rise, because some games are remembered for the result. But this game? This one is remembered for the risk. Welcome to the Immortal Game. The opening tension is snapped. What began as a handshake across the board has become a shove. In just a few moves, the center has been torn open, violently, recklessly. Material has already changed hands. But this is not about points, it's about pressure, it's about provocation. Anderssen has given up a pawn, and in return, he's been handed an open invitation to attack. His pieces aren't retreating, they're hunting. And Kisaritsky, he's taken the bait. But the moment he captured, he also committed. From here on, there's no easy way to defend, no quiet move, no slow play. The board is now a battlefield. Both kings are vulnerable. Every piece placed from this point forward could be a weapon or a weakness. And the next few decisions, they won't just shape the game, they'll define its legacy. The game is no longer balanced, it's tilted, teetering on chaos. With every move, both sides have shed caution like a second skin. Black has already lunged forward, not with knights and rooks, but with his queen. Too early? Perhaps. But early aggression, if unanswered, can overwhelm. And Anderssen? He doesn't flinch. He doesn't defend in fear, he invites the pressure. The king, exposed and uncastled, now stands in a dangerous spotlight. But Anderssen sees something deeper, a future where danger becomes opportunity. His development is rapid, intentional, relentless. Piece after piece joins the stage, as if he's building not just a position, but a trap. Each side is accelerating now, like they know there's no such thing as a long game. And hovering above it all is Black's queen, dangerously deep, but increasingly alone. What began as a skirmish is becoming a storm. And as pieces begin to collide, Only one player seems to be dancing toward it. The game is unraveling, not with blunders, but with intention. The board looks wild, disjointed. But this isn't a mistake, it's Anderson's design. Kieseritzky lunges with pawns and pressure, shoving forward trying to crack Anderson's center and corner the king. And for a moment it almost seems to work. But Anderson doesn't pull back. He doesn't protect, he invites the violence. His rook repositioned unusually, not for defense but to strike, his pawns pushed forward like bait in a trap. Kieseritzky gains material, a pawn here, a bishop there. But in doing so, he's marching straight into the mouth of the machine. This isn't just creative play anymore, it's madness. Calculated, brilliant madness. Each of Kieseritzky's gains, they come with a price. Each aggressive move opens a new wound in his position. And while he collects pieces, Anderson collects momentum. The king may still be trapped, but the battlefield, it's slowly becoming his. Anderson has been under fire. Kieseritzky came forward early, bold, aggressive, taking space and material with both hands. But now, Anderson begins to answer. Piece by piece, he's no longer just reacting. He's reclaiming control. Kieseritzky's queen, which once threatened from deep inside enemy lines, now starts to feel overextended, like a sword swung too far. And Anderson? He brings his bishop back into the fight, with force and purpose. The pieces are beginning to breathe. The coordination is taking shape. A counterattack isn't just possible, it's emerging. The tempo has changed. Kieseritzky still holds more material, but Anderson holds something more dangerous: momentum. His knights are circling, his rook is ready, the bishop strikes back. And behind it all, a plan begins to surface, one that Kieseritzky might never see coming. Kieseritzky still holds the edge in material, but Anderson is no longer playing by the rules of balance or exchange. He's begun to let go, not just of pieces, but of expectations. Rooks, pawns, structure. Anderson sacrifices them all. And what he gets in return? Time, space, pressure. Kieseritzky at first answers confidently, capturing where he can, taking what's given. But that's the trap. Because with each capture, he's not winning, he's tightening the noose. Anderson's pieces aren't scattering, they're converging. The bishop now locks onto the heart of Kieseritzky's position. The knights are closing in like shadows, and every open file, every diagonal, is about to become a weapon. What looked like recklessness is beginning to reveal itself as precision. Kieseritzky may still feel in control, but the ground beneath him is crumbling. And Anderson? He's already seen the end. The trap has sprung. Kieseritzky's king is no longer safe. He's hunted. Anderson is no longer playing a game. He's composing a symphony of destruction. And Kieseritzky? He knows he's slipping, so he lashes out with one final attempt to break the momentum. His queen, his most powerful piece, surges forward in a desperate strike. But it's too late. The board doesn't belong to him anymore. Anderson doesn't flinch. He lets the queen come, and then answers not with retreat, but with fire. The knight dives in. Myndical G7, check. A sacrifice as sharp as steel. Kieseritzky can only watch. His queen has no bite. His king has no shelter. And the knight, now deep behind enemy lines, tears open the gates. That move wasn't about taking a piece, it was about clearing the way for something final. The balance of power is gone. Anderson doesn't just have the upper hand, he has destiny on the board. The knight has shattered the gates. Kieseritzky's king stumbles out, exposed, disoriented, and utterly alone. Anderson doesn't pause. He doesn't slow down. He sacrifices his queen, not by force, but by choice. A final act of beauty, masked as madness. Kieseritzky accepts the offer, because how could he not? And in that instant, it's over. The bishop slides in. The rook locks position, and then the final strike. Checkmate. No queens, no rooks, no mercy. Anderson wins, not by holding more pieces, but by letting go of everything except the plan. This wasn't just a game, it was a story of risk, vision, and brilliance. Anderson played with the boldness of a man who knew where the path ended, even when it led through chaos. And Kieseritzky? He didn't lose because he was weak. He lost because he stood across from a masterpiece in motion and still fought every move with heart. Two minds, one immortal game. If you enjoyed, like the video, subscribe for more legendary battles, and share it with someone who thinks chess is just a game.